shots, I hit him in this shit, not Bonte quick. What you finna do? Cause this gon' make the news, gotta make your move. Told that bitch get in cause she looking confused. I broke the rule, cause this bitch a witness. Plus I just popped due, but she ain't crying. And this hoe is smiling, plus this bitch look cute, so we slide out. I'm checking my mirrors, made it to the house, told her hop out. I ain't hungry, I not back, no doubt, I know you.
I've just worked out who dies in Stranger Things 5 and exactly how they're going to. It's going to break everyone and ruin Christmas. I've been deep diving into this volume and working out Vecna's plan for my full explainer, and it involves Vecna using the radio tower that Steve and Jonathan climbed up. Remember what Robin said about Vecna using Mind Flayer particles like radio signals? He's literally going to use the particles on the radio tower to transmit them all over Hawkins. We even see this in the teaser, Mind Flayer tentacle climbing the radio tower.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Me out. What if they filmed the original cast, the main lead cast, all of the children, when they were still kids, like way back in 2016? What if they filmed a scene or multiple scenes in 2016 of them actually doing the series finale, like when they were actually children, and it turns out that this entire five seasons of this journey is nothing but them as children, imagining the entire situation playing Dungeons and Dragons. Could you imagine if that is what if that's what this is all in, just their imagination? Has anyone else had this thought? Because I could see that being the big, like, what do you think?
The one Stranger Things theory that you need to hear is the fact that Jonathan Byers is proposing to Nancy and the ring is in a cassette. Okay, follow me here. And the Duffer Brothers said there is a song that's going to be on the last episode of Stranger Things that will be the equivalent, if not more important than the Kate Bush song that they had, you know, running up that hill. One of them's gonna die. It's either gonna be Jonathan or Nancy, and it's gonna be a brutal death to that song, and that ring is going to be, I can already know I'm gonna cry. The ring's gonna mean a lot. I honestly think it might be Jonathan, and I think that he's gonna die at the hands of his own brother, who is now Vecna. At that point, I think I'm right.
Ashley, look at me.
I think I found out why Max and Lucas are getting attacked by a Demogorgon in the hospital in Volume 2. I think Vecna is sending the Demogorgon after Max for a very specific reason. He wants to actually kill Max this time. And it's not because he didn't kill her the first time. It's because he comes to a conclusion. You see, every single kid that Vecna brings into his mind, Max is going to try and bring him to the cave, just like she did with Holly, because the cave is where they'll be safe. Well, once Henry figures this out, he's going to want to figure out how to get all the kids kids out of the cave. And maybe the only way he can do that is to actually kill Max while she's in the coma so she can no longer protect the kids, no longer provide a way out for them. And this is why he's going to send the hive mind after her. And that's why we see several clips of the Demogorgon going after Max and Lucas while Lucas is trying to get Max out of the hospital. I mean, to me, this totally makes sense as to why Vecna sends Demogorgons after her. She's the one right now preventing Vecna / the Mind Flayer from finishing their plan, and he needs to prevent that. Let me know what you guys think about this theory, if there's any holes to it, and if you think it could actually happen in season 5.
Season 4, episode 1 predicted the whole ending. In season 4, episode 1, the Hellfire Club was doing that board game, right? And how they were gonna kill Vecna. And then at the same time, while they were playing, Lucas was playing in a national state championship game for basketball. Right? So the whole point is to roll numbers. Dustin and Erica were the only ones rolling, right? Because they're the ones last. Dustin, I think, rolled an 11, but it wasn't enough. In season 5, L wasn't enough to defeat Vecna herself, right? Yeah. So also, it panned to Lucas shooting the game winner in the state championship game. He was wearing number 8. Oh, it was 8. The girl, L's sister. Season 5, they brought back 8. So now, 11 plus 8. What's 11 plus 8?
What is it?
19. So Erica rolled a 20. So they need 1 left. Who's 001? Vecna or Will? So this might confirm that Will actually might be number 1.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
This wall isn't a wall, it's the Mind Flayer, let me explain. In episode 4, we see these visions that Will had in the barn. We see these tunnels that are fleshy and have some sharp points, almost like teeth. And when you really look at what Will drew on the doors, it seems to be making the same shape and same outlines that he's drawn before of the Mind Flayer. I think the Mind Flayer's plan is to redo what he did in season 3, but bigger. I think we've all been missing what's been right in front of us this whole time. That flesh wall that everybody has been talking about isn't just a wall, it's the Mind Flayer. And that's where Will saw the kids being taken into the wall, into the Mind Flayer. Not over it, but inside of it. We heard Vecna tell Will in that last episode that the kids are the perfect hosts. Easy to break, easy to manipulate. I think these 12 kids are going to be what fuels the Mind Flayer this time around. The Mind Flayer is controlling and guiding Vecna to make more wills. Will was just the blueprint showing them that this was possible. Go look back at that episode and see what Vecna tells Will. He tells him that Will showed him what he was capable of doing and what was possible. The Flayer will use these new wills to power itself, unforming from a wall to a bigger Mind Flayer, finally revealing to us that this wall was never a wall. It was actually just the Mind Flayer sitting dormant, waiting for its fuel source to power it up. And it'll use the upside down, which I believe is a wormhole, to break the upside down and the right side up to merge it all into one.
This is a Stranger Things Season 5 theory that I cannot stop thinking about. What if every single person that Vecna or the Mind Flayer has killed isn't actually gone? What if their minds or even their bodies are still being stored in the Upside Down for a future plan? You see, in Season 3, the Mind Flayer didn't just kill people, it absorbed people. But Stranger Things never really explained what happened to their bodies. They all just disappeared into the hive mind. And then there's Vecna, and his kills are way stronger than the Mind Flayers, and they're almost like rituals. And he always says that the victims he kills are up here in his mind. And like I said, the Mind Flayer absorbed the bodies. So what if Vecna is the brains, the Mind Flayer is the thing that can create the physical bodies, and then together they can create a controlled army with every single victim that they both killed? Because if you think back to Nancy's vision from season 4, she didn't just see chaos in Hawkins, she saw organized apocalyptic destruction. She even said that there was soldiers marching. In season 5 volume 1, Nancy does reference that vision again. So what if the soldiers that Nancy was talking about weren't demo-like creatures, but repurposed humans in the Upside Down that Vecna and the Mind Flayer have been collecting and storing away? I mean, it could be people like Chrissy, Fred, Patrick, Barb, Bob, or even the Russians, and that's why Barb said her body shows up in season 5. And this would mean that every single death in Stranger Things that was directly caused by Vecna or the Mind Flayer wasn't just a pointless loss, and instead it was recruitment for a massive undead army that is going to form in season 5. Let me know what you guys think about this theory, and if you would like to see all the dead characters come back to life sort of in a massive army. And if you guys want more content like this, then be sure to like and follow for more.
On Stranger Things Day at the Netflix event, I saw some extra evidence for my Green Dragon Stranger Things theory video, and I want to talk about it. My Green Dragon theory is by far my most viral Stranger Things theory, so maybe you've already seen it or you followed me because you watched it, but if you haven't, it's pinned on my page. This is what the cover of it looks like. Just go watch it to catch you up to speed, otherwise this video isn't gonna really make any sense. The host of the event made it very clear that anything you saw set up that night was a clue or an Easter egg. It's not just for like decoration or random, just fun things to throw in the background. Everything was placed purposefully and it was full of clues. What are the chances that there were only 2 D&D books and both of the covers of them had green dragons on them? The top pictures are the photos that I took while the event was happening of the actual books they had on set in the vines. The bottom photos here are just the more clear editions of those books. Green dragon, green dragon. The green dragons are everywhere. One last side note, I do want to point out what the cast was wearing because I think the color palette on the red carpet was very interesting. Most people were wearing mostly black or all black outfits, and then we had 1 person in white, 2 people in red, and 2 people in green. And the reason that I find this odd is because obviously outfits are somewhat coordinated. There is no way coincidentally everyone wore black and then just like a handful of people decided to wear lime green. That's too random. And we've seen Will draw a red dragon. We've seen Will draw a green dragon. I'm like, And honestly, the white that Sadie is wearing makes sense because her character is in such a different place in the show. But then also I'm thinking like white dragon, never ending story type of vibes. So all of it is giving me dragon vibes. And that does not mean, let me just like emphasize this, that does not mean that I think that these people are going to morph into dragons. I just mean it's symbolic and it's interesting and it's very purposeful.
Milers, I need you to hear me out. I'm gonna sound crazy, but just hear me out. Someone pointed out the lighting gets warmer when Mike makes Will smile. Now, I think this is Will's point of view looking at Mike. So we see it go from like cooler to warmer, and then after Will does that little like punch and stuff, it's cooler, but not like as cool as before. So it has like this warmth to it still, like there's still hope, but it's like dulled. What I want you to pay close attention to is Mike's point of view. And the reason I think this is Mike's point of view is because it doesn't change the same way that Will's is changing. So it would go from like cooler to warmer to like dulled, just like we see it with Will's point of view. But this stays warm the entire time. Here's a comparison of cool versus warm. This is warm the entire time, from assuming Mike's point of view. I think what we're seeing is unreliable narrator Will come back, just like from Wrinklemania, with Will's versus Angela's perspective. If you look at Robin's perspective, it's actually warmer than what we see Will's perspective as. So actually, I'm gonna word it like this. Will's losing hope. It's dwindling, it's dulling. While Robin's looking at this and saying like, oh, there's hope for these two and stuff. It's still, there's that warmth coming through and stuff. It's not full warmth, but like it's coming through type of thing. That's what it actually is, I think. And we're seeing Will see it completely differently because he's an unreliable narrator. He's reading the situation completely wrong. I think that's what it's trying to show. And we do not see how Mike looks at Will after that, like from his own perspective of like how the color changes around and stuff. It could get like warmer for all we know. We don't know that, and I think that's on purpose. So we see it go from like this like lighter warmer, the same one that Robin sees, and that's when like they're just talking and stuff. And then when Mike is like saying like, oh, kind of like comparing Will to Vecna in a way, and then it gets cooler because like Will's like, oh, are you comparing me to Vecna? Are you saying I'm like Vecna and stuff? It gets cooler, and then Mike like almost like it feels kind of flirty, and that's when it gets really warm and stuff, and you see Will's face light up, and I think that's what led him to try to openly flirt with Mike. And I think he's taking it as like, oh, that wasn't reciprocated, but I think he's reading that situation wrong because his is too dull compared to what someone from an outside perspective who has no other context about them is seeing it. Don't worry guys, Balor's endgame. It's endgame. We're already getting the avalanche. It's the avalanche. It's been snowballing the entire time. This is the fucking avalanche. Ooh, his closet broke open, and now Balor's happening. Guys. And before anyone's like, oh, this is a huge reach, it's really not, because like that's how shows work. Like all the lighting is like intended and purposeful. Like, here's a behind the scenes photo if you don't believe me, but like that's just basic knowledge if you know anything about like film and stuff like that. Like, everything is intentional.
The number 7 has always been important in Stranger Things, and I'm going to explain how it could symbolize the way Vecna could be defeated in the final season. This theory starts out in season 1, episode 1, whenever Will Byers told Mike that he rolled a 7 and the Demogorgon got him. So him rolling the number 7 is the reason he got captured by the Demogorgon. So right off the bat, number 7 is very important in Stranger Things. And then if you go through every single season, each episode 7 was a massive turning point in the show. Season 1 episode 7 was Eleven's bathtub moment where she found out Barb was dead and Will was still alive. Season 2 episode 7 was the Lost Sister episode, which in my opinion was a pretty big discovering episode for Eleven and a big storyline piece. Season 3 episode 7 was when Eleven got bit by the Mind Flayer, which basically made her lose her powers. And of course season 4 episode 7 was the massacre at Hawkins' lab, which of course is one of the biggest reveals in the entire show. But that's not the only reason the number 7 is very important. In the scene in the Creel house, whenever Vecna is fighting Nancy, Robin, and Steve, Vecna gets hit 7 different times. And on the 7th blast, he gets knocked out of the house and falls onto the ground below the Creel house. So my theory is, maybe Vecna has to be defeated 7 different times to finally be taken down. So far in season 4, he's been defeated 3 different times. So that means in season 5, he would have to be defeated 4 times. And here are the examples of the defeats that have happened so far. Max surviving his attack. That is a defeat because usually he kills his victims, and Max survived. The second defeat is the Creel house attack, when he was fighting Nancy, Steve, and Robin, and they knocked him down to the ground. He didn't kill them, and he ran away. And the last defeat was in season 4, episode 9, whenever Eleven was doing the piggyback, and she officially saved Max and did all the psychic stuff and everything, and Vecna lost. And I have a theory on what the other 4 defeats could potentially look like in season 5. I think the first defeat in season 5 could be all about Will Byers. We all know his connection with the Upside Down and Vecna, and how he's been lured in before and was actually a spy for Vecna and the Mind Flayer. Well, in season 5, I assume Vecna's going to try to do the same thing to Will as he did in season 2, but this time he's going to fail and Will's going to resist, and that will be the first defeat in season 5. Number 2, Max's soul being freed from Vecna's mind, if that's where she is, or Max just being saved in general and living. Number 3, the entire group, Hawkins as a whole, the government, Dr. Owens, whatever, fighting back against Vecna. And then the last defeat would be the final showdown where Eleven, Hopper, Will, whoever else, Callie comes in, and they all use all of their strengths, all of their powers, and finally defeat Vecna once and for all. And I think that final defeat will happen in season 5, episode 7. So that is why I think the number 7 is very important in Stranger Things and will play a huge role in season 5 and will ultimately be the reason and the way Vecna gets defeated in Stranger Things. Let me know what you guys think about this theory, if you think it's crazy, if you think it's too far-fetched, or if you think it actually might be somewhat legit. And if you guys want more Stranger Things content like this, then be sure to like and follow for more.